Hello and welcome back to Process Control Made Easy. This is stage number 4, and we're going to cover closed loop control theory today. This should be a real quick video. So, what is closed loop control? Well, closed loop is simply a question that has just a few limited responses, which are really calls to action. The question, once started, then repeats endlessly until stopped. To help you kind of understand this, let's do a quick simple example of opening a jar. What does it take to open a jar? Well, here's our closed loop. We have a defined starting point and a defined stopping point, and we have our single question, which is the jar open? And there are two answers to that, which are called Boolean answers, and which means it's either true or false. So if the jar is open, we stop. If it is not, we turn the lid counterclockwise. And while we're trying to turn the lid counterclockwise, we ask ourselves the question, is the lid moving? If the answer is no, we increase the force. And if the answer is yes, we decrease the force. You've done this probably a million times. So what does it take? Because we need some additional information. We need to have sensors and actuators. So let's turn and really kind of break this thing apart. First of all, the question, is the jar open? We need a sensor to tell us. And that sensor really has two states. It's either working, you can see the jar, or you can't see the jar. And you need a reference state. The reference state is either closed or open. All right. And now, once we have established that we can see the jar and we have a grasp on it, we're turning the lid counterclockwise, we ask the question, is the lid moving? That's, again, a Boolean answer. It is either yes or it's no. And if it's no, we increase the force. If it's yes, we decrease the force. So when we look at the flow of action here, the question and action, we have three pieces that we really need to consider. One is the input, so that's our sensor. And in this case, it's our eyes. And the status is Boolean. It is either true or it's false. We also have a variable, which is the jar open state. And we're going to go back to the reference state, either open or closed. So that is a Boolean answer, true or false. And then we have the muscle effort. And this is a variable as well. And it has a status of 0 to 100. So 100 is maximum effort and 0 is stopped or not moving. That, in essence, is a closed loop. Now, closed loops ask a single question. They have limited answers, and there are defined actions with those. Generally, you loop it at defined intervals, maybe every second, every 2 seconds, what have you. You can define that within your program. To build a closed loop, we have to define the objective of the process action, which in this case is to open the jar. Then we have to define and understand the sensors used, our eyes, and the action to be taken to open the jar, and define the action control, which is muscles. So a closed loop control system is really just a series of closed loop controls arranged in a manner that produces the desired end state. That's really all there is to a closed loop control system. So if you have some questions on it, feel free to email me at jerry@reefworks1.com. In stage 5, we will begin to build a robotic 7th axis for moving a robot from station to station. Should be a lot of fun. All right, we'll see you in stage 5.